Wow, thank you, Morris Creek volunteers and staff. Those are some great demonstrations. So now we're going to shift gears and move into the Civil War and later 19th century weaponry. We have several demonstrations lined up for you. We're going to start at Fort Pulaski National Monument in Savannah, Georgia, as they demonstrate their Parrot Gun. We'll follow that with a demonstration of small arms from Shiloh National Military Park in Tennessee. That will be followed by a pair of cannon demonstrations from Stones River National Battlefield in Tennessee. This section will conclude with a mountain howitzer demonstration from Fort Larned National Historic Site in Kansas. Take it away.
Hello and welcome to Fort Pulaski National Monument in Savannah, Georgia. This reproduction 30-pounder rifled Parrot gun resides inside the historic fort and is the largest firing cannon in the National Park Service. The fort saw battle during the American Civil War in April of 1862, when Union heavy artillery opened fire upon the once believed invincible fortress from land at a distance of over 1 mile away, using the new technology of rifled artillery. This was the first time rifled artillery proved its prowess in battle. The drill performed here is historically accurate, with some slight modifications for safety purposes. This gun crew or detachment, consisting of 6 trained volunteers supplemented with park staff, is the minimum amount of people needed in order to properly and safely operate the gun. Historically, the detachment oftentimes consisted of more men or cannoneers. In all cases, the cannoneers of the detachment worked closely together, listening intently for commands from the gunner.
Attention detachment. Take implements.
First command given is take implements. The cannoneers each have a solid wood handspike that will be used later in the drill to move the cannon forward to place it into battery. The cannon barrel on this gun is approximately 4,000 pounds of cast iron, and the carriage adds about another 2,000 pounds, so it takes effort from the entire detachment to move the cannon. The load command is what puts the cannoneers into motion. Every person on the detachment has a specific job to do, and loading is done in a specific sequence. The cannoneers operate with much diligence in order to ensure the safety of everyone serving on the gun crew. The charge is making its way to the cannon. What you will hear when this gun fires is 1 pound of black powder. The noise is not only loud, but visitors and attendants can actually feel the vibration in their chests caused by the explosion. The historical charge consisted of 3 pounds. Adding the rifled projectile to that, as you can certainly imagine, would create quite an energetic response when the cannon fired. The cannon is now loaded and must be placed into position and properly aimed. This is where those wooden handspikes and manpower come into play. The detachment simulates moving or heaving the cannon forward, placing it into battery.
In battery. Heave. Heave. Halt.
The gunner then uses the Parrot's front and rear sights to make last moment adjustments. On the ready command, the person in position number 3 on the right side of the gun prepares the lanyard and friction primer, and assumes the firing position and awaits the command to fire. Upon the command fire, number 3 pulls the lanyard, causing the friction primer to spark, sending a jet of flame into the powder charge, whereupon the gun immediately fires.
Ready! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please cover your ears. This will be much louder. Fire! 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 Cease firing!
Once the cannon has fired, the crew prepares the gun for reloading just as they would in battle. Of course, in the heat of battle, the crew would work much faster than you witnessed here today. However, they still had to work closely and be very diligent to prevent a cannon accident. Just imagine having to go through all these steps to load and fire a cannon while you yourself were under fire from the enemy. Iron barrels had the tendency to get very hot when fired, and if they were loaded too quickly, what is known as rapid firing, they could get so hot they would burst, causing injury and possible death to members of the detachment. Rapid firing was the #1 cause of artillery accidents in the American Civil War. But that was then, and this is now. With another safe demonstration in the books, we hope you've enjoyed the artillery firing and can't wait for you to visit Fort Pulaski National Monument.
Man
The
wearing
Civil War.
blue,
The Civil War
standing
sees an
outside
advancement
with trees
in
behind
weaponry
him,
with the United
holding
States
musket.
Army. Prior to the Civil War, the 1842 smoothbore musket was utilized, but with the Civil War now there's an advancement. The Infield rifled musket. The Infield is a British weapon that fires a .58 caliber musket. A well-trained infantryman can fire 3 rounds in 1 minute, and we'll do that right now.
Artillery generally played a support role in Civil War combat, applying the brute force of solid iron or exploding projectiles against their enemy at long distances. At shorter ranges, cannons could shift the tide of a fight with hail of 1-inch iron balls from a tin canister that ripped gaping holes in an enemy's lines. Each gun required a team of 8 soldiers working in unison to accomplish their deadly task. Cannons rarely worked individually on a battlefield, but instead went into the fight in groups of 4 to 6 guns known as batteries. Hundreds of men and horses were needed for a battery to function in a fight. Many factors impacted the effectiveness of artillery on a battlefield. Cannons did their best work when they found themselves defending a position from the high ground with clear lines of sight. They also needed the infantry to keep the enemy from approaching from the sides or rear of their position. The lack of any one of these factors lessened the impact of the big guns. At the Battle of Stones River, all of these factors came together during the key moments of the fighting, allowing Union artillery to play a decisive role in one of the most important Union victories of the Civil War. 5 soldiers wearing blue outside in a field firing a cannon.
Ready! Fire! to clean out the burning
8
debris from the
soldiers
last
wearing
shot.
blue outside
At the
in the
right rear, the
field
number
firing
3
2
is
cannons.
covering the vent at the back of the cannon with a thumb stall to cut off the oxygen, which also helps put the fire out. The number 5 will bring the ammunition up to the front of the gun, where the number 2 will take it and place it into the bore. Then the number 1 will ram that back to the breech of the cannon. The number 3 will then go to the trail handspike and assist the gunner in aiming. Command ready, number 3 will poke a hole in the powder bag using the priming wire. Number 4 will insert the friction primer attached to the lanyard. And the number 3 will hold that down while the lanyard is stretched taut. This would be the cover your ears moment.
In the Indian Wars, where the United States Army's greatest enemy was highly mobile, an artillery piece of equal mobility was required. Faced against forces that were mainly on horseback and were armed mostly with bows, arrows, spears, and muskets or rifles, the United States Army would need a shot that was widespread from a gun that wasn't too heavy. The 12-pound Mountain Howitzer fulfilled the role of not only a mobile artillery piece, but a highly effective one as well. Because of its delayed and deadly exploding shells, the 12-pound Mountain Howitzer was deemed by some Plains Indians as the cannon that boomed twice. The 12-pound Mountain Howitzer was such a perfect marriage of mobility and effectiveness that if a wagon train had one in tow, it was rarely attacked. 4 men outdoors in a field firing a cannon.
Fire! Fire!